Hello again. So here's another video of mine. If I wanted to keep you poor forever, these are the things that I would do. And I would certainly make sure that you are, or you believe that you're winning, that you are gaining. And if you look at the recent UK in particular, because I'm UK, so announcements, they give you all the small rewards of we will fill the potholes, and they rant on about that for 3 days. More money in working people's pockets. The minimum wage has gone up as of today. So they are boasting about more money in your pocket, but forgetting that they are removing more than they are giving through inflation, through energy costs, including petrol, through interest rates. So they sort of give you £1 and they remove 2. So look, this is what I would do if I wanted to keep you poor forever. The student loan system, I would encourage expensive education with long-term debt and little financial ROI. How many people do you know go to university, they come out with 20, 30, 40,000 pounds worth of debt, quite often more, depending on the degree or qualification you're doing, and then they spend pretty much the rest of their lives trying to pay that off. So that's just a nonsense. So student loan system, I would do if I wanted to keep you poor forever. Let me just take a drink of my coffee. Credit card reward schemes. Now we know credit cards are always high on their interest rate. They tend to charge large APRs, quite often 22, 24% APR, sometimes more. So credit card reward scheme, I would promote spending to earn points. All sound familiar? While racking up high interest debt. That's one thing I would do. Something else would be monthly subscriptions. So the culture of monthly subscriptions, which can be good in certain circumstances for health and this kind of thing, or maybe it's a gym membership. But I would certainly normalise endless recurring expenses for entertainment, for apps, this kind of thing for your Netflix or YouTube subscriptions, or it just sucks the money out of your pot, And when it's already being sort of removed or stolen, then these subscriptions just suck the life out of your capital and your cash flow. Consumer finance plans, pushing the buy now, pay later narrative. That seems to be less now, but it was certainly a big thing for a decade or two for lifestyle upgrades that you can't really afford. But you go for it because it's like, I want a new sofa, but it's £1,000 or £2,000 or more. Haven't got the money now, but hey, I'll have the money in a year's time or 6 months' time, and I can do a buy now, pay later. The truth is, you never pay later because you never have the money. So you end up sucked into this monthly payment at usually a significant or high interest. So another one would be, I would high tax and low deductible income system. So I would tax earned income heavily. Let me just flip that back. I would tax earned income heavily with minimum write-offs. So just increasing taxes overall. And there's a lot of taxes which are stealth taxes, which you don't quite, they're not as visible as your income tax. And that could be a tax on the petrol, obviously VAT on foods and this kind of thing. These are all the hidden taxes. I would normalise mainstream financial advice, so promote savings, cash in low yield saving accounts, and avoiding risky assets. Now, quite often, and this isn't any financial advice, the riskier the asset, the higher the gain. And this is in my experience where I manage my own capital and I invest heavily into various sort of asset classes, and I research them thoroughly, etc. So you get things like stock market, may grow like 5, 10%, maybe 15% a year over a 10-year period on average, and you lock your money up for that period of time. So avoiding risky assets and give you low yield savings accounts. So when you think of a savings account, you get like 0.02% in the savings account. Now, if you've got a significant amount of money, you can get 4.5%. But for the normal Joe out there, if you have £5,000, £10,000, £2,000, it's not worth keeping in the bank. Inflation erodes and eats at your money. So at £5,000, inflation at 3%, but you get 0.1%, it means your money's going backwards every year. And I can explain more about this perhaps in another video. Job-only mentality. So you are educated into get a job, work, fill your pension, retire one day if you're lucky, if they stop moving the ages up, and then go off to your life. You probably have to downgrade your house, downgrade your car, stop having those 2 or 3 holidays a year and down to a weekend away, and you basically retire poorer. Because the job-only mentality just destroys your mental ability to go and earn more money. So there's that. Inflation through money printing. So when a government is in debt, they end up going to print money, and we'll be in that cycle probably any second now where they'll start putting the printing machines back on and printing money. That could create inflation because it devalues the currency, whether it's a dollar or pound or yen or whatever else. Japan is a perfect example of that. So it erodes your money. It keeps you poor. FOMO, fear of missing out, consumer marketing. Now, this is the kind of, you see it all the time, particularly in the crypto market. It's more visible, but you see it everywhere. It's a fear of missing out. Other people are doing it. I want to do it. And you end up spending money that you haven't really got, or you put it on credit cards. And then you get stuck in that sort of quandary of owing all this debt. You end up being no better than the government. Then you've got healthcare. So if I wanted to keep you poor forever, I would make sure there are long waiting lists, because it restricts your ability to go and earn money. You have to phone in sick. You have a week off. You spend 18 hours in a waiting room. Yes, I've had family members who have serious illnesses with that experience only the other week. Kept 18 hours, which is absolutely ridiculous. So keep you in the healthcare system and the waiting lists. Endless compliance and bureaucracy for businesses. So if you are in business, you will know that you have to comply with all sorts of things, particularly regulated businesses like FCA kind of businesses. That's the Financial Conduct Authority. You have to fill in lots of paperwork. You have to have lots of meetings that are minuted. You've got your health and safety. You've got your credit consumer license. You've got your GDPR. You've got just a whole employment law. You have a whole host of things that you have to do. So to keep you poor, I would introduce more bureaucracy. I'm used to the bureaucracy. It's an absolute nightmare. Easy access to high interest loans. So promoting payday loans. And we went through that big era of payday loans. I think it's still there, some of it now. Overdrafts, making it easy for overdrafts. And sort of rent-to-own services. So all of this kind of stuff just sucks you in and sucks your money out, and you have to be mindful of it. And I've gone on these journeys myself. I've never done a buy now, pay later, but of course a little bit of credit cards in the past. I try and avoid them. I take the mentality, if you can't afford it now, don't buy it. Quite simple. And that was educated into me by my stepfather. So that's a good thing. Another thing would be education without financial literacy. Maybe this is why in schools they don't teach about money. And I've written a course, which I've not made. I don't know if I'll make it. Maybe I should just release it and free to people, of educating teenagers and young adults on money. Now, schools don't do this. And maybe that's why, because they're just educating people to be mathematically weak, and to go and get jobs and stay in the job for life, or move jobs and fill your pension, retire one day, as I described earlier. Penalise asset ownership, taxing property, taxing savings and investments. They just tax everything you touch, because if you have it, they want it. They don't want to leave you with savings in your bank. So this is something I would do, and I would increase more taxes on assets, even though I'm going to sell you the story of you're winning, you're better off and the rest of it. but I would bring in more taxes if I wanted to keep you poor forever. Government dependency. So it's upward mobility with the benefit of cliffs. So I just read that when I wrote it down on the screen there. And, you know, they give out grants, they give out free money, but there's hooks there. There's always comes at a cost. And the cost is your freedom. So they give you money because then they control you. They remove things like, or can remove, freedom of speech. They can remove multiple empty bedrooms and give them to someone else. So yeah, government dependency is something that it's known in various countries, including the UK. They want you dependent on the state, because when you're dependent on the state, then they get a good degree of power over you that you will obey and you will comply. So there's my sort of quick list of things I would do if I wanted to keep you poor forever. Now, you can go and avoid these. You can go and pay down any debt if you have spare capital. You can go and start a side business if you are in a job and you're happy with the job and you have an income and a family to support, etc. I appreciate it's difficult to start a business, but everyone can run a side business. So I would recommend that you start some buying and selling. It's the most basic industry, the longest established ever in humanity. Buy and sell. So pick up free things from the free ads, refurbish them, resell them. You know, you don't need capital to do that. There's a bit of petrol to pick them up. So I would definitely start a side business, and I believe everybody should have a side business doing something, because it's a way of earning some extra money. That extra money can pay down some debt. It can put you in a better position, and just makes you better off overall. So, hey folks, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope there's some lessons in there for you. Please do subscribe. I want YouTube to pay me eventually, because I enjoy making these videos and sharing my knowledge. So please do subscribe and share. Please share the video. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one.